Welcome. So we are asked that if a is equal to square root of 8, b equal to square root of 6, we should find square root of a plus b divided by what? A minus b. This question is very tricky, very tricky. So I want you to pay attention as we solve it together. Now, the first thing we'll do is input it into the square root. So we'll say square root of a plus b all over a minus b will be equal to the square root of a is what? Square root of 8. B is what? Plus square root of 6. A is square root of 8 minus square root of 6. Since we've done this, the next thing we'll do is to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of this word. So the conjugate of this will be square root of 8 plus square root of 6. So if we multiply it, square root of 8 plus square root of 6 divided by square root of 8 plus square root of 6. Now, if we do this, this is square root of 8 plus square root of 6 times square root of 8 plus square root of 6. They are the same thing. So we can just put it as square root of 8 plus square root of 6 all squared in square root here divided by. Now, this is the same thing as your mathematical rule that states that a squared minus b squared is equal to a minus b, a plus b. Now, this is a minus b, this is a plus b, so it will be a squared minus b squared. A squared will be square root of 8 all squared. So, square root of 8 all squared. So, the square will cancel out. So, therefore, it will be 8 minus 6. Since we've gotten this now, what we'll do is to factorize the numerator here, to expand it. I say factorize, to expand it. Now, in order to expand it, I will do it here. I have square root of 8 or square root of 8 squared. The trick of opening binomial raised to the power of 2, just say square root, this first term squared. So square root of 8 squared will be 8. 2 times square root of 8 times square root of 6 will be what? 2 square root of 48, because 8 times 6 is what? 48. So it will be plus 2 square root of 48, and it will be square root of 6 all squared, so it will be positive 6 divided by 8 minus 6 will be what? 2. So what will be the next step again? The next step will now be that I should arrange this. So 8 plus 6 will definitely give me what? 14. So plus, sorry, I say 4 here, 48. So plus 2 square root of 48 divided by what? 2. Now, the next thing I can do is to factorize from here. You see that 2 is common. 2 times 7 is 14. So I can factorize it here and have 2 bracket 7 plus square root of 48 divided by what? 2. And these two cancel out, which will give me what? 7 plus square root of what? 48. 7 plus square root of 48. We can reduce this. Square root of 48, we can reduce it. It can be written as what? 16 times 3. We can write it as 16 times 3. So since we can write it as 16 times 3, it will be what? 7 plus square root of 16 times square root of times 3, Since we have it, we can now split it. We have 7 plus, we can write it as square root of 16 times square root of 3 equal to 7 plus 4 square root of 3. Now, don't forget, originally we had our big square root. I just omitted it out because I wanted us to understand it. Now, since we have it like this, what we can do next is, the next step will be finding the perfect square trinomial of this. What I mean by perfect, let me first of all break down what is a perfect square. A perfect square is a number you get when you multiply an integer by itself. For example, 1 squared. 1 squared is equal to 1. 2 squared is equal to what? 4. 1 and 4 are referred to as what? Perfect squares. So a perfect square trinomial will be something of this nature. Let me write it here. Something of this nature. A plus b all squared will be equal to what? A squared, let me write it here, will be equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. This is a perfect square trinomial, but this is the factorized form of it. So we are looking for the factorized form of this guy here. Now, if this is a perfect square trinomial, what it therefore means is, if you bring out this question here, let me bring it out here. So 7 plus 4 square root of 3. If I bring this out, we'll agree that this is a squared, this is 2ab, but we do not have a b squared. So we can now assume and say, okay, since we don't have a b squared, it therefore means a squared and b squared added up to give us this term here. So we can now start doing something. A squared is equal to 7. 2ab, we are using the try and error method. 2ab is equal to what? 4 square root of 3. Now, b squared we don't know, but we can find b from here. If we can find b from here, we can automatically square it and get the answer. Now, in order to find b, we can divide both sides by 2, obviously, and here will give us what? Finally, we have ab to be equal to what? 2 square root of what? 3. Now, since we have this, we can now say a to be equal to 2, b to be equal to what? Square root of 3. Now, since we have this, we have two values of a. We can have the value of a, so let me write it here again. The value of a can be equal to square root of 7, obviously here. A can be equal to 2, but b is always equal to a square root of 3. So let's put it into this and see if we expand it, we'll have this. The first thing we try is with square root of 7. So square root of 7 plus square root of 3 all squared. What is it going to give us? 7 squared is what? Square root of 7 squared will be 7. 2 times square root of 7 times square root of 3 will give me what? Plus square root of plus 2 square root of 21, and square root of 3 all squared will be what? Will be what? Plus 3, because plus sign plus 3. So 7 plus 3 is equal to what? 10. And it will be 10 plus 2 square root of 21, which is far from what we have here. Very far from it. So let us try a to be equal to 2. So we can say a plus, 2 plus square root of 3 all squared to give us what? 2 squared, 4. 2 times 2 times square root of 3 will be what? Plus 4 square root of 3, and plus square root of 3 all squared will be what? Square root of 3 squared will be what? Plus 3. Now 4 plus 3 is equal to what? 7 plus 4 square root of 3, which is the same with what we have here. Now, since this is the perfect square trinomial of this, we can just bring it here and say square root of what? 2 plus square root of 3 all squared. Now this square cancels out, and our final answer will be what? 2 plus square root of 3. Now this is the value of what we were asked in the question. So we have found a plus square root of a plus b divided by a minus b. Like and share to your friends. Thank you very much.